All right, we're just gonna hop right into it. No introductions needed. Jeremiah's always here. I'm always here. We're just gonna hop in and we're gonna talk about. Casey should be joining us. As a matter of fact, I will send him a quick message just to remind him.
Yeah, he might have got a little busy.
Yeah. Um. So I want to start off by I want you to go over the general rules of Commander.
Okay. I got you, bro. I got you, bro. So, and like Brent said, we're not even start with the introduction, but the topic is Commander for Magic the Gathering. Magic the Gathering, of course, tabletop card game for Wizards of the Coast. It's really fun. Commander is a game type from it that is similar to its basic rule format, in with a couple of exceptions, of course. One, it's a singleton format. That's the most important one. As long as it is a unique card, it you can only have one in the deck. There are some exceptions to that, and those exceptions are said in the card itself. You know, but for the most part, so long as it's unique, you can only have one of it. Um, Magic is the type of game that deals with a resource, mana, lands, if you will, to cast your spells. So those, of course, are exempt from the rule if it's basic. But if it's a non-basic land, you can only have one of it.
Okay.
And like I said, the other ones you can only have one of. Typically, in a Magic deck, you can have any number of cards so long as you meet the minimum of 60. In Commander, you can only have 100 cards, your Commander, and 99 others, no matter what. Well, there again, there is an exception to that, but that's an actual keyword, which we can get into if you ever want to later, you know.
If we
But for
happen to
your knowledge,
stumble
like,
upon it, maybe.
yeah, if we stumble upon it, then I will point that out.
Okay.
There are two instances where you don't necessarily play with 100 cards, and if those come up, I will point it out. But other than that, just normally 100 cards, your commander and 99 others, or your commanders and 98 others. That's its own rule. We'll get to it. But anyway, but that's just it. Like you're playing like a regular game. You're casting spells as you can. Usually in Commander, you want at least 3 people, 4 ideal, up to like 6. Getting more than that can be kind of crazy, and 4 is the ideal amount. You know, I haven't done tournament play in a while, or any pods and stuff for Commander in a while, but I do very casual. So that could have changed, or it could just be 4, you know. But upwards, we've had like 6 people on table, and I mean, it's a long game, but it's still fun, you know.
Hmm.
Um, you can do one-on-one duels in Commander. It's known as French Commander. Um, and in that, it's its own set, its own. It has some of its own ban lists and stuff like that. There are ban lists for Commander.
I
Um,
do want to point something out.
yep.
Unless you, so one of the reasons why I'm building this deck is because we're going to be meeting up for San Japan later this year, and I plan on
Oh yeah.
bringing it so that way we can play. Do you play by band card lists?
We do at our table, but we're not strict about it.
Okay, because
If someone
I'd
plays a banned card.
I'd like to be able. So I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I'd like to be able to build my deck. Um, Not necessarily adhering to the rules of banned cards. I just kind of want to like understand the format before I get really into like what's okay and what's not okay. Um, if I do stumble across a banned card that could easily be replaced by maybe one or two other kind of cards, then we can go
Mhm.
that route. But we'll just kind of play that one by ear depending on what it is that I stumble upon, how much it costs, and if I can substitute it out. If that makes sense.
No, there is. So the ban list for Commander isn't very big, you know. There
Hmm.
and some of these are horribly expensive cards to begin with, you
Oh,
know.
well, then that's out of the question. Like what? Now I'm curious.
Okay, so like Black Lotus is banned in Commander, you
All
know.
right, that's a given.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
that. I mean that's
pretty
just
sure
really
Black Lotus
strong.
is banned everywhere, right? Isn't it banned in
No, I
standard
mean
as well?
Legacy and Vintage can have it. Yeah, no, that's definitely usable. But speaking of that, like in the Power Nines from the beginning, Mox Emerald, Mox Jet, Mox Pearl, Ruby, Sapphire, all of
Mhm.
those are also banned. So they are similar to like Black Lotus is a 0-drop tap sack, or no, I think it's just you sack it.
Mhm.
Oh no, you tap it and sack it. You tap sack it. You add 3 mana of any single color, and it's just insane for a 0-drop. You can just throw it down. The Moxes do the same thing because they're 0-drops. Um, but instead of sacking them, it's just a little you throw them down. You can tap them and use the mana every turn, or for as many times you can untap it and tap it again.
Mhm.
So those would be the ones like yeah. I mean, those are super costly cards though. I don't expect you to go and get like those cards.
Okay.
But then there are cards though that's like there's a reason they're banned. For instance, one that I used to run because it was broken until they banned it back in 2019, I think. Paradox Engine. It's a 5-drop artifact. Whenever you cast a spell, untap all non-land permanents you control.
Okay, this one I've stumbled upon across this one before.
Yeah,
Um
it was very strong, and bro, my vampire deck used to be less lands and more just like tappable mana rocks. Because my thing is, I'll use the mana rocks to cast a vamp, and then untap everything, cast another, and literally just play out my hand.
mhm.
Like it was a pretty crazy time. So some things do make sense.
Mhm.
Some things are like um like braids, the Cabal minion. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player sacrifice an artifact, creature, or land. It's like, while yes, you could force them to have to sacrifice a land, and that's kind of messed up. It's like, there's already land hate. There's
Mhm.
literally a card dedicated to wiping all lands. Like, and that's not.
Oh, mother
So I agree. You're probably not going because not only are these banned cards, like I said, banned for a reason, they're also expensive.
right. This is
Um,
8 cents.
for which one?
Braid's Cabal Minion.
Okay, well, I'll give you that. Like I'll tell you that I haven't checked. Like Primeval Titan, he almost always gets banned
This
in
is
one of the
kind of a
studies thing,
terrifying picture, I don't know why. It's just
right? Like she is
she
just,
just looks demented as all hell.
but
Uh,
like yeah. So these different um but
uh,
there are like in the ban list there are certain cards that have a counterpart. For instance, balance. Balance is a banned sorcery. It costs 1 a white, and it forces each player to sacrifice down, um, like to the same. Like whoever has the lowest number of lands, you sacrifice lands until you get to that number. Whoever has the fewest creatures, you do the same thing. Whoever has the fewest amount of
Jesus.
cards in hand, you do the same. Right?
Jesus. Oh my
It's
god.
a jerk of a card. So that's banned. But Magus of the Balance, which is a 1 and a white creature who does the same exact thing, but he costs a little more to do it. It's 1 and white to play him, and then you have to wait till you can tap him, and you have to pay 6 mana and do it. And so it fixes the issue of that just being too low cost. But two, it's a creature, so it's easily dealt with, or easier dealt with than a sorcery.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, I mean, like there are cards that will most of the time have a counterpart.
Okay.
So like Golos Tireless Pilgrim is a banned commander just because every 5-color deck will run Golos. He's a great commander, very strong, right?
Who is it?
But Golos, Golos, the Tireless Pilgrim.
He
He's an
he's a
interesting card.
he's a banned commander, is that what she said?
Yes, he is banned. He's banned
When
in commander, but he's a banned commander.
so he's banned in commander but not in standard?
Well, he's not in standard.
Oh.
Standard only consists of whatever block is there at the time, and Golos isn't a part of this block. But he
Oh,
was
okay.
definitely banned. Let's see,
When
what's his
Golos Tireless
legality?
enters the battlefield, you may search your library for a land card, put that land onto the battlefield, tap, then flush shuffle your library. 2 plus. So do you have to have one of each of these to be able to use it?
So yeah, for 7 mana, and you have to pay at least 5 of the different colors, 1 of each color.
That sounds like a
You
nightmare.
But hold on, you exile the top 3 cards of your library, and then you may play them without paying their mana cost. So, like,
Huh.
if you weight your deck down with, like, 10 plus mana cost cards, I'll pay 7 mana to drop, like,
But
uh,
the,
a
the
Blight
point
Seal Colossus,
the point that
Platinum
I'm
Angel, and, you
oh
know?
the point that I'm trying to make though is that it would be a nightmare to have each of the different types of mana in your deck.
Mm.
You'd literally have
We
to
can get
build, huh?
Good. I
You'd
was saying we can get
literally
into that. Like, 5 color isn't as scary as it seems because there's so much mana fixing, land searching in Commander, like just in general.
mm,
And because Commander does hit every set, you have access to things like Chromatic Lantern. You have access to things like the potion version of Chromatic Lantern, making it to where your lands can tap for 1 land of any color,
oh,
like,
okay.
which fixes that stuff. Golos the Tireless Pilgrim mixed with, I wanna say, Fist of the Suns and one other person makes it to where you actually could cast his thing for just 2 mana.
Mhm.
It's pretty funny. Um, but but I digress. Yeah, I think
Okay.
it's Fist of the Suns. Fist of the Suns might be, but what I'm saying is there are ways to mitigate it, which no, why would you do this to me, Shadow? I love you. But there's ways to mitigate. It's not as scary as it seems, but I will
Okay.
say that your mentality has to be different the more mana colors that you put into a deck, which is what I like about Commander too. Why? Why do you cat things? I love you so much, Shadow. Um, um, Actually, it's funny that we're doing this Commander thing. Yesterday, I spent 4 hours building Commander decks with new people as well.
Nice.
And one of the things, since we're talking about 5 color here, is the fact that like I have one who wanted to build a 2 color, one that wanted to build a 4 color. And the 2 color wanted to throw in 38 lands, and the 4 color wanted to throw in 33. I'm like, those numbers need to be swapped.
Mhm.
Like you have way too many lands. You need more. And you only need 2 colors, so really you need to throw in less, and you need to throw in searchers to thin your deck out. And so we were just kind of going through that. I had the help of a good friend of mine who's really good at building decks. He's built like 48 now, I think. The man's got money though. Hey, is what it is. Props to the rich. Um, this man pays money, and I respect it. But like, so I'm glad that we're on it. Like Commander, I like Commander just as much as I like just a regular standard build. And the reason why is because your mentality does have to be a little different.
Mhm.
In a regular duel, you can have 4 of each card that you want to play, including specialized lands. So you have a better chance of getting your combo pieces, and you're really trying to build around that. And in Commander, it's harder. There is a good amount of luck that goes into that as well. Although not to say there isn't consistency depending on what you put into your deck.
Mhm.
Um, but I like Commander for that. It just certainly makes for longer duels though. So be ready for that. Sorry,
Okay.
I got a soapbox about random colors. So
No, no, that's
what
fine.
colors that you're wanting is my
So we're
question.
we're gonna start. We're gonna do. I'm gonna do a black white deck with. I was so intrigued by Drana and
And
Linvana
Lidwalla.
Linvala that I really want to build a commander deck around her. How many commanders did you say should be in the deck?
Commanders?
Yeah, how many copies of that can I have in the deck?
One.
Just
And,
one?
and
Oh,
your
that's right, because it's out
commander
from the beginning, right? It's out from the start, right?
it's not in the deck. It's in what's known as the command zone.
Right.
And so it's always counted as being in your hands for purposes of being able to play it.
Okay.
And anytime that commander moves zones, except for on its initial summoning, right?
Mhm.
Like anytime it's summoned from the command zone to the field, you can choose to put it back in the command zone.
Mhm.
I will have to check into that though. I might be wrong with that. That would be so stupid if someone could do that. But
Uh-huh.
if they can, I literally want to build a deck around that. But anyways,
Okay, so
but
I'm getting 3 of her. I'm getting 3 of her because I wanna put her in my other deck, my standard black white angel deck.
oh,
Um,
she is definitely a low cost. Yeah. Oh, I see. You got it pulled up. Yeah, she's
yeah,
definitely a low cost card right now.
right. So I added her to my cart. So now what I need to do now what I need to do is I need to get, um, I need I believe I wonder how much I have for, like, when it for so I need to get I'll need to get some lands then. Um,
Well, lands are pretty interesting. So you've got things like Godless Shrine and stuff that are pretty expensive, but there's some inexpensive lands as well for black and white. You know.
Godless Shrine, is that what you called it?
Yep, Godless
Jesus,
Shrine.
what is Oh, okay. Do I have some of those already?
You might, since you played before.
Maybe I don't think I actually have any of those. I have some other ones. I'd have to pull out my cards to actually, like, look at them.
So
Um,
So you should always like, in my opinion, when it comes to building commanders and
mhm,
building commander decks, is you should kind of figure out what do you want the theme of your deck to be. So of course you've got Drana and Linvala, and they have a pretty amazing effect. For anyone who may have missed it,
right.
is that your opponent's creatures with activated abilities can't be activated, and Drana and Linvala has the activated abilities of all creatures on the battlefield. You know,
Mhm.
so she's really good. She's a 4 drop, I believe 1 white, white, black. Maybe a 4/4. I don't remember the power and toughness. Is it 3/4? Yep, 3/4.
Yeah.
She's a really good card. Interesting effect. You'll definitely be the target of blue and red decks and
Yeah, I
black. I mean
bet.
every deck, but
Yeah.
my thing is what is your theme?
Well, I guess, like,
So,
so Drana and Lavana has all activated abilities of all creatures your opponents control. You may spend
yes.
mana as though it were mana of any color to activate those abilities.
Yep.
So it doesn't necessarily mean that my creatures, because it doesn't work on my creatures, right?
You're right, you're right.
So
It's
so
only for your opponents, but just the same, her top ability also not top, her middle ability also only matters for, your
the
opponent's
opponents as
creatures.
well.
It's
So
pretty much stripping your opponent's creatures of their ability to activate effects,
uh-huh.
um, and while also making it to where you can cast them. For instance, if someone for some reason had a Golos on the field,
Mhm.
you could stop Golos from doing his activate ability. You could activate Golos's ability with her, and you could use all white for all 7 mana. You could use all black or a combination of white and black, and it wouldn't
What's
matter.
card are you talking about?
That Golos, the tireless
Oh,
pilgrim.
okay.
So that
Okay.
remember his effect has all 5 mana colors, but she makes it to
Mhm.
where if you like she has that now activated ability, and also you can use any common like whatever mana you have available. You don't have to have one of each. If all
Mhm.
you have are planes for some reason, you can use all 5 planes plus 2 and do it, you know?
Mhm.
I love her effect. But a theme is something very important for building a commander. Now, mind
Mhm.
you, you can be like me and just be this chaotic mess of I just want my commander to do like I have a deck called by Amara. Amara is one of my favorite commanders. I built that deck from the ground up, and let me tell you, it is basically just a token deck. But I had no direction with that. I literally just want her to tap as many times as possible, you know.
Mhm.
But if we're talking about themes, let me send this to you, Brent, if you want to pull it up. You're more than
Okay.
welcome to. But this right here, I'm gonna send it through Discord.
Okay.
This right here is for top commanders and stuff of Orzhov commanders, which would be um, the guild from Ravnica and blah 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 blah. They are black white. So there's the themes at the top, from life gain to sacrifice, legends, party. The party system's really cool, but I don't know if you want to spend that much money to get into it. Like these are the different themes that are the normal themes, you know?
Okay.
And of course the popular tribes, if you're just going for a specific type of creature, such as vampires, angels, clerics, humans, whatever. If
Hmm.
you were gonna do tribes, of course it seems like you'd want to do vampires or angels or both.
Right. And that's kind of what I was like leaning towards, was to sort of just keep it sort of a tribal theme.
Mhm.
Um, I I don't know, because right now that's kind of all I know in in as far as like building decks is like centering it around a specific theme,
Yeah.
or centering it around sort of like tribals. So,
So one thing I will toss into you, because when we were talking before about your standard deck, it seemed you like token decks, correct?
well, that one specific, so my black white angel cleric, my no, no, sorry, not angel cleric, my black white angel deck, that is token heavy. Um,
Okay.
whereas like my white angel cleric deck is life gain. So, um, uh, can you hear me?
Yeah, no, I'm listening.
Okay. My I got like it got deathly silent in my ears for a second. I thought something cut out. Um, so so I mean we could try to do a token deck with this. That would
Oh.
so how would that work in Commander? Um,
Oh, so here it would work pretty beautifully, if I may say so myself. Um, so for one thing, um, you would have to figure out what you want to do with your tokens.
right.
So, do you want them to just be a presence and you're just swinging out? Do you want to use them as some type of resource? Black white, for instance, when it comes to creatures, are really good with death triggers. Thanks to a girl named Taysa Karlov, a, a friend of mine. Well, that friend that made like the 40+ decks. He has
Mhm.
a Taysa deck, which is pretty dope. Now she has her name Taysa, Teysa, and then Karlov, Karlov. She has this ability: if a creature dying causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time.
Mhm.
And then creature
But
tokens you
but
go ahead.
I couldn't use a card like this, right? Because it's it's a rare, right?
No, 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 you can. So I think you're mixing up the popper when I was talking about it. Commander, so I'm gonna say like she's a really good card. You can put whatever you want in the deck so long as there's only one of each and it's on the ban list. Tasta could go in there because she benefits creature tokens. She gives them vigilance and lifelink.
Mhm.
She also has that death triggers trigger twice, which there are many things out there that can sacrifice creatures and many things that benefit from that in both white and black. For instance, Blood Artist or Falconwrath Noble, Zulaport Cutthroat. These three have an ability that whenever any creature on the battlefield dies, target opponent loses a life and you gain a life. It's it's just a fun little, like, you can burn people down pretty quickly that way, you know?
Hang on.
Um,
So let's see here.
yeah,
If a creature dying causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. Creature tokens you control have vigilance and lifelink.
you
Holy shit.
and so,
Um,
yeah, so now all of a sudden they don't tap when they attack, and you gain life whenever they deal damage. Even more than that,
damn.
like I said, if you like with her first ability, so let's say I have Blood Artist on the field.
I
Great,
think I'm
great
gonna go
card,
ahead. I
great.
think I'm gonna go ahead and get two of her
Go ahead and
just for
grab
the.
the taste of. Yeah, she's pretty cheap. She's pretty dope, man. Another one you might like, the lease Reverend Medium. Now I have one of these, because I want to make a black white token deck that's not vampires.
Oh, there it goes.
Um, and that has the ability at the beginning of each end step, so every end step, whether it be yours or your opponent's, you create X11 white spirit creature tokens with flying, where X is the number of tokens you created this turn. So you pretty much
Which card is that?
Thalisse, Thalisse, and then Reverent Medium will be the second part.
What's her name?
Thalisse.
Oh, Reverent Medium.
Yep. She has a fun effect. I really like her.
Okay. At the beginning of each end at the beginning of each end step, create X11 white spirit creature tokens with flying, where X is the number of tokens you created this turn.
Yep.
Okay. So, okay, well this could be fun.
Yep.
This could be fun. Um
Now
let's
you like angels, right?
yeah,
Since
let's
I'm
see here.
kind of jumping every which way, I already know what you're going to want to put in the deck. Look up Divine Visitation after you if you're going to grab her. She's
Let
cheap.
me see here.
I'd say like put her in if you're going to build tokens.
Mhm.
But
Let me see
Divine
here.
Visitation.
And 1 second here. Wow, she's cheap as hell.
Yep. Like honestly, when it comes to TCG, they have a great optimize button. So my thing is, you put everything you want, first one you find in the basket, and at the very end, when you're about to buy, you go to optimize. You can optimize for price, you can optimize for time, optimize for
Right.
number of packages. Yeah, I always just do that. I trust them.
Yeah, I do too. I've used let's do this. We'll do I'll buy 4 of her. Why the hell not?
That's fair.
Okay. Okay, what was the other one that you were suggesting?
Divine Divine Visitation. Oh, maybe DE. No, I think it's D.
Divine Visitation.
Oh wow, that jumped in price.
Holy crap. What do we have here? If one or more creature tokens would be created under your control, that many 4/4 white angel creature tokens with flying and vigilance are Oh, Lordy Jesus. Do I have it? What was this? Oh, this is Guilds of Ravnica. I don't
Yeah,
think
that
this would
came
I
out a
don't think
couple years back.
this would not have been unless it was re-released as part of it wasn't. Oh man.
I have a
God.
couple of those. I wouldn't worry too much about that. I'll let you have one.
I can buy it off you or trade. Um
Bro, like what's really gonna hurt you is I don't know if you want to spend the money for it, but token doublers are usually essential in token decks. In black white, you've only got access to two of them that I know of. One of them
fuck.
is Anointed Procession. The other one is a newer one that came out.
Mhm.
Uh Gotta figure. Yeah, he's a Phyrexian guy, I believe.
I could get it for flat $10, shipping included.
That's not bad. I mean, honestly.
That's like I will if you're willing to hold one, I am open to still buying or trading one of yours to
Okay.
put in my black white angel deck.
Yeah, I mean, I'll hold, man.
Okay. I'm gonna do that. Okay. All right. I'm willing to spend like $100 tonight, so it's like it's not even that big of a deal. Um, that's dope though. That'll go perfect for my other deck for sure, and what it is that we're doing here. So let's see here. Let me see. Um, let's see here. Advanced search. Let's see here. Creature type, subtype. Um, let's do white, black. I want to do token. Rules text contains token. Let's try that. What is this? Can I like I'd like to
That's a battle, isn't it? March of the Machine, yeah. Invasion Tovold.
Okay, so this is a
It's a
3
battle siege.
it's a bat I don't know. Do those work in Commander? I don't even know what that is. Is that
So
part of this?
they do, but it's not in the color. So here's the thing: you can't play cards that do not have your commander's colors.
But the
So this is.
but this
Oh,
is
is it?
yeah, it's white and black.
Oh crap.
So what is this? So okay,
Okay, so
okay,
this is very new. Okay, so first off, a siege right here in the product detail, as a siege enters, you choose an opponent to protect it. It comes in that number at the top right, that 5 on the card. That's how many like you'll put a dice on it. It's kind of like a planeswalker.
okay.
That's how many loyalty we'll say it has, right? Whenever it gets attacked, you lose loyalty up to whatever the attack number was, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you charge an opponent to protect it. And if they don't protect it, you'll get the flip side. So for this one, the invasion of
Oh,
Tolvalder's
forget it.
battlefield. Oh, okay.
I I I I'm not trying to I'm not trying to be rude to you or anything, but it's just like I'm still a novice at this
Oh
game,
yeah,
and
no, that is
like
definitely like that took a lot of people by surprise. Like
like
these battle
I'm
scenes.
it's like no, it's like fuck that. What do we have here? Um, Sunfall, exile all creatures, incubate X, where X is the number of creatures exiled this away. Create an no. Is this? I hope this isn't all under March of the Machine. I think I asked for everything. I wonder why they're showing. Oh, okay. So what is this? An instant. Choose one. Each opponent sacrifices a non-token creature. Each opponent sacrifices a creature token. Each opponent sacrifices a planeswalker.
What are you looking for specifically?
I'm just kind of looking.
Okay.
Um, um, I don't know if
Things that
that.
create tokens.
Yeah. What is this?
So let's go with Hanawar Militia.
Okay. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create a 1/1 white monk creature token with prowess. What is prowess?
I believe for every time you cast a spell, that creature gets +1/+1. Yeah, cast a
Eh,
non-creature spell.
that's an expensive card. What was that card that you were looking at?
That's one of my favorites. It's called Hanawar Militia Captain, I think.
How do you spell that?
I think it's HANI. No, just put HAN. We'll see it here in a second.
Hanawar Garrison?
No, but that's the right spelling. Hanwer, HANWEIR, and then militia.
Militia Captain?
Yep,
Oh wow, look at that.
I like him.
At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 4 or more creatures, transform Hanawar Captain.
Yep.
Okay. Westvale Colt. Okay. Okay. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 4 or more creatures, transform Hanawar Militia Captain. Okay.
And he transforms
Okay.
into Westvale Cult Leader.
Okay. Westvale Cult Leader's power and toughness are each equal to the number of creatures you control. Okay. At at the beginning of your end step, put a 1/1 white and black human cleric creature token, 1/1 black white
Onto the
human
battlefield.
on the battlefield. Okay.
So
And
he's just a token pumper.
and then th- the and tokens are classified as creatures, right?
Yeah, creature tokens. Yeah. So there are different types of tokens. But
But
yeah,
but
it's just,
but say that I but for example, say that I had one standard card out and then like 3 creature tokens out. Does that
yep,
still
that counts.
count that still counts as a creature?
Yep.
This could just be a fun card in general. Let's see here. What do we have? Um let's see here. No sellers in cart. Okay. I think I want verified sellers.
That's fair.
I don't even know what that means. I guess that means that they're a little bit more legit, right? Um,
Yeah, it's more people that have deals with with TCG, but yes, they are legit too.
um, let's see here. I'll buy lightly played.
I miss the
Yeah,
days where I could purchase damaged cards from TCG.
Are you? I have no problem with buying so long as so long as the card is functional. I have no problem doing that.
So back just before it would be in 2018, 2019, I went on the spree of buying damaged cards because I found out that back in the day when you look for damaged cards, there is damage, there's unplayable. And so if
Uh-huh.
it's unplayable, it's damaged to the point where it's a marked card, well, for one reason or another. And if it's damaged, it means it's playable, but it just kind of looks bad. And so that's
Mhm.
the only way I would buy cards back in the day. I bought a Chroma's Memorial, which is a decently expensive card.
What's it called?
I think
What's the card?
the Chroma, Akroma, uh, a Chroma's Memorial.
Oh, fuck.
I have that one too,
I
but
think I have that one.
so this card
Jesus.
right, yeah. I bought this card, not this printing specifically, but this card I bought for $4 because it was damaged, and what happened was someone spilt coffee on it, and
Uh-huh.
so go back.
Go back.
Yeah, go back to the different printings.
Okay. I
I
only see
have
they all look like the same. They all look like the same
no,
artwork.
there's an older version of Chroma's Memorial, but for some reason it's not showing up.
Okay, let's see what we have here. Let me know. Is it this one?
It's no, it's
That one's cool though.
it is cool though.
Is it this one?
No,
Is it this frog?
I wish.
What is this? This looks fake as hell.
It is fake.
um do you know what set it's from? Is it this one? That's dope. That is a dope card.
That is a dope card. Keep
That
going
is
though.
sick as hell. Do you know what the set is? Do you know what the set was?
I mean, it was an older
Is it this
card.
one? Oh, that's a Chroma's Blessing.
Yeah,
Creatures you
no, it's not
control gain
Memorial.
protection from the color of your choice until the end of the turn.
Hold on.
Damn. Damn. That might be good for something. A Chroma's Blessing. Let me see here. I'll keep looking. Um uh I'm not seeing anything different
I
than
want to
this
say
one.
it's this one.
Do you know what the set is? Or are you just gonna send it to me?
Yeah, I'm just gonna. So I think it's the same artwork. It's just that the borders and stuff look different. It's probably because it's older. I can't say that too. It's probably also because it got effing coffee spilled on it, but it looks like an older card.
Uh-huh.
I'd have to get it. Okay, because so this is one of those cards that I got in the mail. And my wife completely swiped, so like I don't even have it anymore. But I bought it for $4, and the coffee stain made it look so cool.
Yeah.
So this is what no, well, it's not that one though. I may just ask my wife to bring it to me, but I'm guessing it is the right art style, but it's the border style looks more like
Oh, I see.
yeah, the border style is darker than how bright this is. So that's where it's throwing me off. Either way, that could also be because it got coffee spilled on it, but it looks like an older style of the card.
Uh-huh.
But I was like, so at first, when I first got, I was like, oh, this might be fake. But it apparently it's legit. And it's just that. I got another one that was damaged. It's a token doubler. It's called Parallel Lives. It's a green one that double like
Oh, there it is.
Parallel Lives. So it's expensive.
Holy shit. Yeah, it
It's
is.
very good though.
If an effect if an effect would put one or more tokens into the battlefield under your control, it puts twice that many of those tokens onto the battlefield instead. Damn.
And I bought that card when it was still it just hit $20 back in the day. And I bought that card for like 5 because it was broken or there was a problem with it. The problem with it is on one of the corners, like if you were to hold the card onto its side to see the edge of the card,
Mm-hmm.
you would see that it looks a little damaged, shows that someone was side shuffling it without sleeves, and so they damaged the card, but it wasn't enough to make it a marked card.
Mm.
But I was like, guys, if that's how bad damaged cards are, don't overlook a damaged card, because there's a difference between damaged and unplayable. If I can get that to anyone, you know, like twice. Twice that many. Put twice that many.
Twice.
Twice that many.
Yeah, let's see if we can find an expensive card that I can buy to just to be extra. I'm only seeing
Okay. You want one in those colors? Anointed Procession.
Anointed Perception.
That's another token doubler. Anointed.
Oh no. Oh no. I don't know. I don't know if I want to be $45 extra. It if an effect would create one or more tokens under it would create twice that many control. Damn. Let's see if I can find let's see if I
They
can
used
find
to let you. Yeah, they used to let you find. Oh my
Oh my
god.
god.
Never mind.
Moderate. I don't know if I want to be this extra.
Go look for different language. Sometimes, like you can get a Chinese one for super cheap. You know. Uh,
Oh, I like to be Jesus. That's so hardcore. Let's do so okay, this is the cheapest price. Wait, hang on. Maybe it's not the hang on. Come on, let me go back. And let me see here. Oh no, these are all this is the cheapest one.
oh,
Anointed Procession.
yeah.
Damn. It
There
used to
is
be a damn. No, I don't need to be this extra. That's like half my budget right there.
bro, when it first released, I found it for $2. I think it was 250 after everything was said and done. And it's just it jumped in price, but Commander really, really I mean, doubling season is the most expensive uh token and counter doubler out there, doubling season. Um it
Jesus. Oh
is
my
I have that
god.
card too.
Oh
Tabby
my god.
bought that for me because she's cool.
It
Um
$94. If an
No, we
effect
didn't pay
would
94 for it. At one point, this dipped in price because it got re-released in Oh, yeah, this Battle Bond. It
uh
got re-released. It dipped down to $30, and we were like, I mean, that I will buy that because it's going to go back up. But Commander shot the price of these type of cards up because why wouldn't you? I mean, you can run anything from any set so long as it's not banned. And this effect is better than most because not only does it double your tokens, if an effect would put one or more counters on a permanent. There are things that do similar things like Primal Vigor and stuff like that do the similar effect, but they'll specifically state +1/+1 counters. This
mhm,
is any counters. So if you have something that's putting charge counters, it's double. If you're putting poison counters on your opponent, it's doubled. It
mhm.
is a great card, and it's a low cost for everything it does. It's um
I'll
this is what we
keep
like to call targets because as soon as you throw that down, you're getting hit with something. Either they're like taking that off the field or wiping your board, or they're just like trying to kill you as quickly as possible because that generates a lot of problems.
mhm. So
So
what I think I'm gonna do then is
mhm.
I think I'm gonna keep Anointed Procession in my back pocket. Um
Okay. There is a
basically
creature in white that does the same effect, and it is cheaper right now.
what is it?
It is called Mordok. Give me a second. Let me see his full name. Or Mondrak. Mondrak. Glory Dominus. Or Dominus.
$20.
He is the cheapest thing you're going to get right now, and he might be
It,
cheaper in the regular, but
if one or
he's a
more tokens
creature.
were to twice that many of those That's like what's the difference between this and Anointed Procession?
Well, Anointed Procession is an enchantment, and so there's a smaller pool of things that could deal with it. This is a creature that can be killed by taking out its toughness with burn spells.
Oh, good
Um,
point.
he
I
has a really funny effect, though. One Phyrexian white, sacrifice two other artifacts and or creatures, put an indestructible counter on him, which makes him an indestructible creature. He's still prone to being exiled, and there are more things out there that target creatures and way more things that exile creatures than destroy enchantments, usually, you know. But
oh.
he has a fun effect. Actually, a funnier thing is, so he costs two white. But this effect is Phyrexian white. That's a new way to pay for mana. You can either pay a white or pay 2 life. And in Commander, where you start with 40, 2 life is nothing. You would pay 4 life and 1 additional mana. So for 5 mana when you first drop him and sacrificing 2 of your tokens, you suddenly bam, uh
So
you have
this
an indestructible creature that doubles.
okay, so this is what I'm going to do.
Yep.
This is what I'm going to do. I am going to take pictures of these cards and
Yup.
I want to buy the sort of like meat of my deck tonight. The main stuff. But I think in like a couple months before I come to see you, I'm going to get those two cards. I'm going to get these two cards. Um cuz like first of all they're dope. They're first of all okay, like what was that guy Mondrak? There it is. Mondrag.
Mondrak.
That is a cool looking card. Like honestly, like that is a legit looking card. Like it's just a cool looking card. I like the art. I think it looks cool. I want to
So
buy
here's
it.
here's here's something even funnier. I'm about to send something to you. So
Okay.
for $2 extra, you can get an even cooler looking version of him.
Okay. But is I don't even think it's not even listed on this website. It just shows what? What? Why am I not seeing this? Oh, I know the
So
reason why. I know the reason
yeah.
why. It's okay. Okay, let me try it again. Oh. It's the showcase card, right? Yeah. Oh yeah.
It looks
Yeah,
good,
buddy.
right?
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, I'm gonna own that before I see you. Um, yeah. Are there any like black like let's see, what do I have so far? Okay, so I've got Thalessi's Revenant Medium, Drana Limvala, Tesa, the Hardware Militia Captain, and Divine Visitation. Okay. So okay.
Let's see. There now one of my favorite vampires that does some fun stuff is Elenda the Dusk Rose. So she would definitely benefit from Tesa. She's definitely a great consideration.
Yeah,
Elenda.
is this her?
Yep. Yes,
She's expensive.
she is.
Lifelink. Whenever another creature dies, put a 1/1 counter on Alinda the Dusk Rose. When Alinda dies, create 1x 1/1 white vampire creature tokens with lifelink, where X is Alinda's power. So that would be this first one, right? Um
Yeah, but every time a creature dies, you put a +1/+1 counter, so it keeps going up. And then regardless, like if you have any buffers that buffed her damage for no reason or something like that, like you can like get her up to like a really strong presence. And let's say someone board wipes, it's like, yeah, well, she had 8 power, so that means I still get 8 creatures, you know?
that's like honestly like let's see, what does it have? I have another. There's let's see, I saw it here. It should be near mint. Yeah, why not? Um, I'm at $30. Okay, not bad. Um, okay. What are okay, so I wonder what other I might have to go through I should go through like I um let's take a look, see what I have here.
Actually, I knew she wasn't too expensive.
Let's see
Like
here.
since we're looking at your stuff, now I'm looking at stuff that I've been wanting to get to boost a couple of my decks, you know?
Hmm. Okay, okay, so that was so let's see here. Okay, that's a lot of blacks. There's some blacks in here and some whites in here. Oh, I forgot that I had this person. I bought a whole bunch of them with the intent to um Tybalt Cosmic Imposter.
Oh.
I don't know why I bought. I don't know why I bought the. I don't know why. I can't remember why I bought him. But his the base card is Volky, God of Lies, but he can but on the other side he is a it's Tybalt Cosmic Imposter, who's a planewalker.
Yeah.
I don't remember why I bought him. I was planning on building something with him, but I can't remember what it was.
What was the Please tell me that's not too expensive. Oh, thank God it's still good. Just something else to kind of toss to you is called rabble rousing.
Rabble, rabble, rabble,
Rabble
rabble,
rousing.
rabble.
Yeah, rabble rousing. It's from Capenna, New Capenna. It was a really fun set. Um,
There it is.
it's not too
Okay,
expensive either.
rabble
This
rousing. What
card
do we
is
have
actually
here?
really good.
What do we have here? Okay, so let's see what we have here. Hideaway 5.
Mm-hmm.
When
Whenever
okay,
this enchantment enters the battlefield, you look at the top 5 cards of your library and you get to exile one face down, then put the rest at the bottom in any random order, right? Hideaway usually has, and you're about to see it, it has a trigger effect where whenever you meet that condition, you get to cast whatever you exiled for free.
um whenever
So
you
this,
attack
yeah,
whenever you
go ahead.
attack whenever you attack with one or more creatures, create that many 1/1 green white citizen creature tokens. Then if you control 10 or more creatures, you may play the exile card without paying its mana. Interesting. That's
It is
interesting.
a fun effect, but it's also an enchantment. So even after the hideaway effect happens, this stays. So every combat, if you attack, however many creatures you attack with, you create that many 1/1 green and white creature tokens.
The only downside though is in order for me to oh wait, no, I could still tap them like the but so it doesn't matter if I don't have if it doesn't matter if I don't have green in my deck. I
Okay.
could still
This is one of the fun parts about Commander. You cannot have any cards that have the green mana symbol in a black and white deck. However, if you have a card that specifically states the color, like green, or even that creates tokens that would be green, but it doesn't show the mana symbol, it gets past it. So you can have this in any white deck, even if it's a mono white. Just because the creatures are green and white does not mean you can't play it. So long as there's not a mana symbol that would make. If there was a mana
thi-
symbol in this deck, in this,
this is what is
yeah,
what is this is what counts, right?
that and any activated abilities. Like remember we were talking about Golos earlier that he's a colorless artifact
Mhm.
creature, but he has an activated effect that takes all 5 colors.
Right.
That because of the activated effect and those colors, it makes the color of that card all 5 colors. Your any mana symbols in the card that is used as either an activated effect or a triggered effect, whatever, anything you would pay, but well, any mana symbols on the card is what the cost of the card is. It's what the color identities are, right? With
Mhm.
one exception. There is one exception to that rule. This is two. This is one of the exceptions if it just says the name, right? But another exception to the rule is extort. The keyword extort will say extort, and then it has a rules reminder text, which is an italicized, pretty much what Hideaway has right here,
Mhm.
where it kind of has it in that parentheses and italicized. If there was a mana symbol in that italicized just telling you what the ability does, that doesn't count. It's
Okay.
because it's just telling you what Hideaway does. Extort is an interesting ability that says that whenever you cast a spell, you can pay either black or white, and you can have all opponents lose one life and you gain the life that was lost this way, right? And so because it's in the reminder text, it's just telling you you can pay either one of those colors. You could play it in any white deck or any black deck without having the other counterpart. Do you know?
Okay.
Um, it's just a fun little thing like that, you know. To be honest, if there was a card out there that had extort that wasn't black or white, which there's not, to my knowledge, but if there was one, you could play it in any deck. Like if it was like there was an artifact that had extort, you could play it in any deck despite it having that reminder text.
Okay.
But that's the only situation. So that's what you look out for. If you find a creature or you find a card that has, like, let's say it's white up here, but then for some reason there's a green mana cost in the middle of its text somewhere, then it's a green white card, you know?
Okay, there's those. Let's see here.
But say if you need more examples, I actually have an example I always show people when it comes to it's called Alicia who smiles at death. Because she's a red card, but she has a black white activated ability. And
Uh-huh.
this because of that, she's three colors.
Jesus, I have way too many fucking cards.
No. That's what
I
happens.
what is this? Huh. That wouldn't work for this deck. What is this? Priest of the Haunted Edge.
Okay.
There he is.
Oh?
There he is.
Good morning, guys.
What's up,
Morning.
Casey?
What did I miss?
We're building a commander deck focused on creature
White tokens.
black white tokens.
You know I hate those that you make.
No,
I'm
nothing
trying to
is
help
nothing is worse. No. Nothing is worse than the shit that the token decks that like Ian would make.
Like the goblin tokens.
Yeah, that was annoying. Fuck that.
Oh
yeah,
my gosh.
goblins are pretty. Goblins, elves, and zombies are some of the worst. In Commander, there is a pretty bad one. I actually run that deck, and it's vampires. But that's because I have a commander who is an absolute mistake, and they've admitted it since they created him. But I'm never going to give him up.
What's he called and what does he do?
Edgar Markov. He's a commander. He's black, red, white, so it's every color that vampires would come into that means something, right?
Mhm.
He has an effect called his mana cost does not matter. You're never playing him. His other effects don't matter because he should never be on the field unless you are just hurting. He has an effect that is triggering even while he's in the command zone. So he's untargetable by opponents, and it always happens. Anytime that I cast a vampire creature spell, I also create a 1/1 vampire.
God dang.
Oh, but I wouldn't be able to use something like that because it's got a red.
Not unless you want to pay $100 and play, because he's a very
Nope.
expensive card.
Oh yeah, no, thank you.
Actually, he might be lower priced. Oh, he's 65 now.
Oh, okay. Only 65?
Yeah.
What
Market
is
price is 80. And then he has a really cool, super awesome one. It's 170, the Judge promo. I'm never going for that. But I'll send you the card so you can look at him. This card is a mistake.
How's
I
he a
have
mistake?
they make pre-constructed commander decks. And back in 2015 or 2016 they made Edgar Markov. Edgar Markov has an ability that makes it to where imminence, and imminence is he does not have to be on the field. This is always happening, even when he's in the command zone and untargetable. And whenever you cast another vampire spell, if Edgar Markov is in the command zone or on the battlefield, create a 1/1 black vampire creature token. That's bad. That means no matter what you do, you can't really stop me from making tokens. There are things that can counter me. There's like 2 or 3. Trespasser's Curse, Curse of Curse of something. Like you can curse me as the player to make it to where I lose life if a creature enters the battlefield under my control. Or you can curse me to where all my creatures get -1/-1. But his effect in those colors are insane. If you would like tonight, I will actually go on to Scryfall and put my deck in and send it to you. So you
Okay.
can see some of the. So I put things in like Anointed Processions in there. I put things in like my favorite vampire, Drana. I told you about her before, you know. Drana and Linvala is now in that deck.
That's right. I can actually buy Drana and Linvala separately, right?
Yeah, they are creatures.
Yeah.
Drana has like 3 printings, I think. Linvala might have a couple.
Is it Drana's emissary or Drana?
No, Drana Liberator, Drana the last Blood Chief, Drana Calestria Blood Chief. Like there's multiple versions of her. Oh, and you can have one of each one of those in your deck. They will not
Right.
kill each other. The legend rule doesn't matter when it comes to different named cards.
I need to
So
find.
even though they're like legendary creature Drana or whatever, like that, you can still play them. My favorite is Calestria Blood Chief. She just means a lot to me. She was my first vampire that like when I was first getting to the game. My first trade was to get her, and I love her effect. She's great. She's high cost, but she is really fun, and it's what kicked off between her and the first vampire I was able to get because of a precon, Captivating Vampire, and that's what makes that deck insanely powerful. That Edgar deck is Captivating Vampire.
And one second, I know that I have some other
Yeah.
cards here. Where are those at? Where are all of my? Where I know that I had a shit ton of those cards.
Okay,
That would
no
go.
way. It's not very.
That I know that. Oh, where are they at? I know that I have. Where are you guys at? I have so many cards. I have some other. Boon Reflection. No, I know that I have. My cards are all unorganized. There is a very specific. There are a. Oh, I have Drana Liberator of Malakar.
Yes, I love Liberator Malakir. Malakar Malakir. Drana is just an amazing card. Like, no one's ever going to convince me otherwise. I think that she is great. That is one of the lower cost Dranas. She has a great effect whenever she deals combat damage to a player. Put a +1/+1 counter on each attacking creature you control. She does great in my Edgar deck because I'm trying to do that. Rockish Air helps me in that deck as well. So pretty much my deck is centered around all I need is a couple of vampires, and suddenly I've got a force. And it doesn't matter what vampires they are. They range in different abilities. I've got Blood Artist and Falkenrath Noble in there, and I'm constantly making these tokens. So now it's like, bro, if on the off chance you start killing my creatures, you're going to be losing 2 life, and I gain 2 life. I've got things that buff my vampires from Bloodline Keeper is one of my favorites. Captivating Vampire, he buffs vampires, and I can tap 5 untap vampires I control to take control of any creature. I've got Food a Vampire in there. She's pretty dope. Which apparently they fixed, but I refuse to believe it, guys. And everyone should petition
Ooh.
against that.
Here we go. Whip of Eberos is going in this deck.
Erebos. Whip of Erebos.
Creatures you control have lifelink. One is like I need just simply because that would mean that all of my tokens all of a sudden have lifelink.
Yep.
That is just scary.
I wouldn't throw it in a deck like yours unless you really just have the room. But
I'll keep it. I'll have it set aside then.
No. That one's good. That one's well. That one also.
But the whip. Wait, hang on. Whip of Eberos. Are you saying that I shouldn't or should?
Depends on what you're building around.
Okay.
Lifelink is good though, and that's not a bad one to have. So it's not bad. I would consider it. Gosh dog it! I had a card. It was in my head.
These might just be all green cards. I wonder if I bought those cards specifically. Maybe I don't have any extras lying around. What is okay? I guess I better just bust the deck out. Where is it at here? So
True Conviction. So True Conviction is a 6-drop enchantment, but it costs white, and 3. And it creatures you control have double strike and lifelink, and it's insane. I used to swear by that card, but it's not the best. Not like you're thinking.
Let me see here.
The biggest problem is it costs 3 white, and sometimes, especially in Commander, you might only have one color and not the other. Or you might only have 2 sources of white. It's like, well, this is a 3-drop.
So,
if I had any extra,
do I not have any more Rampage of
I
the
would
Valkyries?
suggest and give you a Cathar's Crusade.
Okay, let me.
When it comes to token decks, I believe that enter the battlefield triggers matter, and they matter a lot. Cathar's Crusade is an enchantment that costs 5 mana. It's 3 white. Anytime a creature enters the battlefield under your control, all of your creatures get a +1/+1 counter.
Yeah, what's it called? What's it called? Cathar's what? Jeremiah. You lose him?
I am going to guess so. Or his internet went out for a moment.
Cathar's Crusade. Okay. What do we have here? Okay, whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control. Do I have one of those? Why do I feel like I might have one of those?
You might have an angel one. An angel version.
I have all sorts of angel versions.
For some reason I can't hear you.
But you can hear me, Casey, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let me message him. He's coming back. I'll need to go through like all of my cards because there are some of my cards that I think that I need for this deck. That's in my standard. Okay. Can you hear us now?
Yes. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, that was weird.
Wait. What do you think about it?
Cathar's Crusade? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I'm wondering if I have that one. For some reason, I'm gonna take a picture of it. Here's I've been going through my cards, right? And I'm trying to see if I have any more of these, and it's possible that I don't. So I can't use Valkyrie Harbinger because that's all about life gain. So that wouldn't work in this thing. But she's an angel that creates a 4/4 angel token. Um that wouldn't work because that's a life gain ability, and I'm not necessarily focused on life. I'm not in focus on life gain with this one.
You can be though. Because see,
Uh,
we're only talking about we've only talked about maybe 9 or 10 cards in a 100-card deck. So you
oh,
could put
that's
the Soul
true.
Sisters in there.
The what? The Soul
Soul
Oh,
Sisters.
yeah, you're right. The Soul Sisters. I have a ton of them.
Yeah, the Soul Warden, Soul's Attendant, all them that whenever a creature enters the battlefield, you gain a
Yeah.
life.
And that even includes for tokens. Oh my
Yup.
god. So
here's a fun thing that you can also kind of mix in with, right?
mhm.
You can put in things like Veto. Veto is one of my favorite vampires. Vito. Vito, Thorn of the Dusk Rose. He's pretty cheap right now. He won't stay that way, I don't feel.
VITO.
Yep.
Whenever you gain life, target opponent loses that much life.
Yep.
Huh.
And then he has an activated ability. 3 black. All of your creatures gain lifelink.
Whenever you get creatures you control gain life link until end of turn. Oh, nice. Whenever you gain life, target opponent loses that much life.
Oh. So here's I'll give you a little bit of he is part of a win con in my vampire deck. So him coupled with pretty much any I throw down a lot of low cost vampires, you know.
Mm-hmm.
By the time Veto comes out, I usually have at least 2 other ones. So let's say I threw down uh vampiric blood or Tithe Taker, and let's say I threw down Blood Artist. That gives me 4 vampires. Then I throw down Veto. That gives me 6 vampires, right? Then I throw down Malakir Blood Witch. Malakir Blood Witch is a cunt. I'm sorry for the word, but she is. I'm sorry. She is a terrible, terrible card.
It's all good.
But she has the effect when she enters the battlefield, all opponents lose life equal to the amount of vampires you control, and you gain all the life lost this way. And then his ability triggers when I gain 30 something life. I look at one person and go, "Get off my board." You know, it is.
So, okay, what was that one called? Malakir?
Yeah, Malakir Blood Witch. Malak, I think.
Yeah.
Very cheap card.
I might just get some just for the sake of.
So honestly, you could build a black-white vampire creature token deck because it exists and it's strong, you know. And Malakir Blood Witch, it is painful to be Malakir Blood Witched, but it is great when Vito's on the field, you know. I had someone who was just punching me every turn, got me down to 8 life, and then just for I guess craps and giggles, another guy was running an infect deck and had me at 9 poison counters. So I'm like, so I'm dead either way. And I drew into her. I was like, or I wipe the guy who keeps punching me. And I said that, and I had the setup, so I threw her down. I had 4 opponents, so they all lost 8 life. I gained 32, and then I punched him for the other 32. So in one turn, I did 40 damage. And I'm just like, there you go. Get off my field, Josh. Now, sadly, you're not running red, but if you were, I would suggest some other things. But
so the cards that I was so while I have it on my mind here, but I do want to get some of her. Let me go back to this one.
Oh yeah, she's good, man. She is definitely.
Near mint. I'll buy 4 of her. Okay, so what I was looking for, um, so the first one would be Valkyrie Harbinger. At the beginning of each end step, if you gain 4 more life this turn, create a 4/4 white angel creature token with flying and vigilance. So there's that.
Oh,
Um, I also have Speaker of the Heavens. Create a 4/4 white angel creature token with flying. Activate the ability only if you have at least 7 life more than your starting life total, and only anytime you could cast a sorcery. So that's that. I know that I have more of those. Of course, okay, I've got Soul Warden, Soul Attendant. I'll dig those up.
you might want to grab a Kaya. I mean, she's a planeswalker. She'd benefit you. Kaya, the Geist Hunter.
Okay. So this other one here is Starnheim Unleashed. Create a 4/4 white angel warrior token with flying and vigilance. If this spell was foretold, create X of
Hey,
those tokens instead. So foretell XX. So any mana, any mana with 1 white. During your turn, you pay 2 plain mana and exile this card from your hand face down. Cast it on a later turn. Its foretold cost. So there's that. Rampage of the Valkyries. When Rampage of the Valkyrie enters the battlefield, create a 4/4 white angel creature token with flying and vigilance. Whenever an angel you control dies, each other character sacrifices a creature.
I do hate that one.
Yeah.
I mean, so I would because you have considered Tesa, I would tell you to put in Dictate of Erebos, which is pretty much the enchantment version of anytime you lose a creature, everyone else loses a creature. And with Tesa, that would trigger twice. So every time you sack
What's it
a token,
called?
Dictate of Erebos.
$10. Whenever a creature you control dies, an opponent. Okay. Let's see. What do we have here? Let me see here. Let's see. No. Shipping is included. $10.
Whoa, that's nice.
Damaged.
That's always nice to
Oh,
hear.
these are all heavily played. Near mint. Lightly played. Ugh, I don't know. Like, I'm curious, like what like moderately played. 40 cents shipping. That isn't bad. Heavily played. I don't want something that's like super ugly. Let me take a look at some of the other. Let me take a look at the. Let's take a look at this one. Lightly played. Let me see here. I will take a picture of this one. Okay. Well, okay, so Dictate of Erebos, that's on the list. What else was I going to look at? I need to go through all the.
Zulaport Cutthroat is usually one that people want in token decks. If you're going to go the route of like death triggers too, Zulaport Cutthroat, whenever Zulaport Cutthroat or another creature you control dies, each opponent loses a life and you gain a life. It's not bad.
No, it isn't.
Don't be giving him ideas.
So the joke here, I'm gonna bring up the joke from yesterday because we were helping someone who was very new build a deck that was going to be a problem, right?
Mm-hmm.
And someone had brought up to us like, "Oh, that's going to be a problem." I was like, "Oh no. See, the difference is we're parents who will definitely destroy our children. Like Edgar wins on turn 5 usually. So if anything got too crazy, Edgar will come out.
Mm-hmm.
Edgar's a mean person. You know." That's not even arrogance. Like we literally just proved that last night because some people got a little big for their britches. Like, all right, so I played Edgar all night, won every duel. It's like, yep, He is strong. If you don't have the speed to match him at the beginning, it's a problem. And even if you do have answers, I usually just take control of those answers. That's my style of plays. I take control of your creatures. You know,
Uh-huh.
like I just amass a bunch of like really weak vampires, and then like you drop down your commander. I'm like, I like that commander. Give it here. But within Brent's case, if he actually puts Drawn and Linvala, I won't be able to do that. I will definitely just have to kill her. You know, it's gonna
um
hurt more than it hurts her. You know.
in in a 100 card commander deck, how much mana should be present?
So that's what I was talking about. It depends on your colors, but generally 33 to 38 lands is a good buffer. You
Okay,
know,
that's good to know.
in your case, in dual color, I would suggest 34. 35 maybe.
Okay.
Um, I would also though, and this is in any deck. I also suggest mana rocks. There are some staples in Commander when it comes to mana rocks. Arcane Signet, Soul Ring. There are
Well, I've got
expensive.
Soul Ring.
Heck
I
yeah,
g-
man! Arcane Signet isn't too expensive right now, and so I tell people try to grab them. It's a 2-drop artifact, taps for 1 mana of any color. Uh,
What?
yeah,
What?
it's not bad.
What? What?
It
And this
is
is
definitely.
this is Commander exclusive, right? It doesn't
Well,
seem
you
like
can like this thing comes at like this gets printed a lot. I'm sure there's decks in standard and other things that have it.
it
But
just.
yeah, I mean, this is definitely one of the staples of Commander. Is you'll see Arcane Signet, you'll see that. You might see some of the diamonds out there, which
Oh,
will
but
only tap for
I
one.
can only have one of these in my deck though, right?
That's yeah. I mean, I ordered 10 of them recently because I didn't have any. Because I go through spells of not playing or not building. Like I've used the same decks for like 2 years.
Hang on,
Um,
repeat that. Repeat that. Sorry, I thought I heard something outside.
Oh, I just got done. I ordered 10 of them. They just came in last week, but I didn't
Yeah, I think
have
I'm gonna
any.
order like 10 of
I
them.
go through like a long spell of not creating decks, and then until I do, and so it's like, well, I don't have any of these. So
So
in
okay, so
your case, I would put in Orzhov Signet for some mana, like fixing. I would put
or how do you spell that?
Orhov or Orzhov. I'm sorry.
O Z O wait OR and ORZ Orza.
Hov.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, they're not very expensive.
No, these aren't
They're
very
a
expensive.
2-drop artifact that you can pay 1 and tap it to get white
Oh,
black.
look at that! Yeah, holy
It's
shit!
yeah, it's a mana fixer. There's key runes.
Why
There's
haven't
a
I ever
bunch of
heard
things.
of that? Why haven't I ever heard of that?
I mean, you know they come with the Ravnica stuff. They're really good.
I'll do 8. Okay, I'm at 41.
Okay,
You know what?
just for me, type in Phyrexian Arena.
How do you spell that?
Phyr.
Here we go.
I heavily suggest that. I saw one for cheaper,
Oh, okay.
and I heavily suggest that.
Okay, so it's
Yeah.
At the beginning of your upkeep, you may draw a card, and you may draw a card, and you lose 1 life. Okay. Oh, and these
Is
are
that a May effect?
huh?
Did you say that was a May effect? Oh, it's not. Okay, I was like, don't tell me that because I'll start choosing.
Okay. Hey. Oh, sorry. At the beginning of your upkeep, you draw a card, and you lose 1 life.
Especially if you're going to go with some kind of pseudo life gain that you might do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's nothing. You get 2 card draws every turn for the price of 1.
Mm-hmm.
Usually, when I'm running black, I'll put Phyrexian Arena and Phyrexian Rebirth in. I don't know how much Phyrexian Rebirth is, so don't quote me on that one.
So
it wasn't a lot back of the day,
I do want to
But
say though, for you guys, that right now, as we're all talking and discussing the cards, I do have Hollow Knight in the background. So as you guys are talking, I'm just hearing that soothing pause music from it, and it actually works very well for looking into these
so,
cards.
so
Right.
I am at $49 out of my $100 budget. So this is what I'm gonna do, because I'm getting to the point where I'm kind of like I'm not necessarily ready to be done talking with you guys, but I'm ready to wrap the sort of like the card purchase up. So this is what I'm gonna do. If it let's see here. Which one should I get? Anointed Procession or Mondrak?
do you want to be bougie or not? So, Annoyed Procession's too like very expensive. I wish it wasn't so expensive.
Yeah, I wish. Holy shit.
So
Hmm.
here's something else I was going to toss to you because some of these cards are really expensive, and I will do this in my casual play, especially since you're just getting into it. I'd suggest just going and paying someone like 30 cents to make a token of that thing for you and use as a proxy. Because although I respect it, unless you're going to take it to some like tournament play or going into like regular play, or if you want to collect it for your own personal collection because you want to have it,
It's
if it's
that
just for
one.
casual fun, I don't jump on that. In fact, some of my decks do have tokens. For instance, my Edgar deck does have I say tokens, they're copies. They're
Hmm.
made, someone made it for me, you know. Some of the old lands from the original set, they're all like $100 up. No, I pulled some of those and put those in there, you know. Um
I don't know. I'm kind of like one of those people that like if I'm gonna use it, I want to own it.
Now, I will say this: most of the things in my collection, like I will say, like so, for instance, those lands I don't have, and if that's an issue with you, I'll easily pull them out because I've got the replacement lands for them for whenever I want to go play. You know,
Hmm.
but like anything that I have a token of, like Smothering Tithe, which is a very expensive white card, I have a copy. I'm just not going to use it in a deck because it's very expensive. You know.
Mm.
So if anyone wants to see my copy, I will show it to them. But I'm not going to well, I'm not going to play it in a deck where it can get bent up, you know?
Hmm.
So same thing actually with Anointed Procession. Anointed Procession, Parallel Lives, Doubling Season, all of those cards we've seen today. I don't have the physical copies of decks because I'm not going to allow those to get bent up. Those are double sleeved in a binder, you know?
All right.
Like
I'll buy Mondrak.
Mondrak is a good one, I feel, you know? That along with like if you did get rabble rousing and stuff, just to get like if you think about rabble rousing is about the same.
Hmm.
Um, Now if you want to be a jerk, I can give you a win con.
Is that what does that mean?
A
Didn't
win
I
con
buy
is
a
a
bunch of
link.
these? Didn't I already choose to buy a bunch of these? Or
I think so.
is that in my?
You can check. I believe so though.
I don't think I did.
Oh,
Um,
you
You might have looked at it but didn't buy it.
why was this moved out of? Why was this moved? Was it bought while I was? Why was this in save for later? I wanted to buy that card. Was it bought while I was? Was it purchased while I was?
Oh, it might have been.
Okay, I can always get another. I can always find another one. All right, clear saved for later. Okay, let's. Okay, let me just double check. Oh no, there it is. Maybe it was the second one. I only need one for now anyway. It's fine. Um, I don't know why that was put in save for later. Okay. What so yeah, I wonder why I didn't buy like um uh, uh I know that I was looking at this Yeah, I should. Okay, I should get it. I should get. Okay, let's do that. Okay, so I bought one rabble rousing. Since it's going to be used my commander, I only need one for now. I'll come back and maybe get another one later.
Exactly. But
Um,
a win con is so that's something you're going to need to start focusing on at one point with your deck. What is your win condition? How are you going to win the game? Are you going to win it by overwhelming? Are you going to win it by bleeding everybody out based off enter the battlefield and
mhm.
death triggers? Are you going to win the game by some other means? Um, I have a green white token deck that has all the token doublers in it and stuff like that. And I have a win condition on a card known as Halo Fountain.
Mhm.
Halo Fountain is a pretty interesting card. It's an artifact. It's actually a colored artifact. It's white, so it's 2 and a white to
Well,
play.
hold that thought. Hold that thought.
Gotcha. Casey, you're having fun with Hollow Knight, huh?
Oh yeah, I finally figured out where to go at the moment. I got stuck.
I mean, if you need some advice with that game, always reach out to me. I'll try not to give any spoilers and try to help out. I love Hollow Knight.
Oh yeah, no, I love it too. This is actually my second game that I'm going through. The
there
other
you
one
go.
is actually on my Xbox, so I kind of had to start over. Unfortunately for me, I completely forgot everything that goes into it. Kind of the same thing as Castlevania Symphony of the Night. I love that game. Played it
Oh,
multiple times. Still have no clue where to go if I'm lost. But
that's fair though.
mhm. But no,
Yeah.
I did finally get into the City of Tears on Hollow Knight
Hey.
for this second time. So I'm just kind of going through that and figuring everything out from there. And I'm just enjoying it. Like, I did look a couple things up, but even when I was looking things up, it didn't make any sense to me. So it's like, I might as well just poke around and see what happens.
No, that's fair.
Mm-hmm.
I really like the game. It's definitely one of the better ones in my opinion. But I miss the exploring aspect.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, I think I told you that once before. At this point, all I'm really doing is playing through the trial of Hollow Nest or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just trying to beat all the bosses in succession. And I haven't done it in a very long time, but it's like I always get to the last three or the last. I made it to the last boss once, but I was so down. I'm like, oh, it ain't a good day.
Mm-hmm.
Like I ain't beating this, and I know that. Oh man. But no, so what I was saying are like win cons are interesting, and sometimes you'll have an aloof way to win. I have an aloof way to win in my Imara deck known as Halo Fountain. It's 2 and a white for an artifact, and it has abilities based off the number of tapped creatures you control. But one ability is you pay 5 white mana, white, tap it, untap 15 tapped creatures you control, you win the game.
Holy
What's
crap.
it called?
Halo Fountain.
All right. I bought those cards, by the way.
Nice.
Yeah. Halo Fountain.
Halo Fountain.
That's not even that expensive.
No, it is not because it's. I mean, it's.
Oh.
It's.
So this would work good for a token deck.
It would. It's a great card. I have the Halo. Like this is my flex. I have the Halo Fountain borderless one. It looks really good, and it's not very expensive. But it looks so good.
I'm gonna take a picture of this.
Like, look at this. I have this card in a foil, and it looks so good. I'm gonna toss
Yeah, I
this to
bet
you.
that's really pretty. The art is really cool.
I am all about art if I can. That's why, like, when we were looking at that Moldrak, because that's one I didn't have. I actually, on this stream, I did order one of those while it's
Oh,
still
that's cool.
not expensive.
Oh, that's dope.
Bro, in foil, it looks so good.
I
Oh,
bet.
God, I love that card. But that goes in any white deck, and you untap 15 creatures. So what I'll do with this is, like, I'll have rabble rousing out or whatever. So I've got a bunch of creatures. I attack in combat, and then after I've declared attackers, I'll untap them to win the game. Like, it's in the middle of combat.
Oh, wow.
So
So in theory, this could work in my deck.
yeah. Oh, yeah. That deck could. Yeah. Once that goes down, that's going to be a target, which is good sometimes. Things like Doubling Season, Halo Fountain, different things like that are really good by themselves. I throw those down as quickly as possible because I want you to get them off the field by wasting your resources, just so long as that resource isn't killing me, but like, Halo Fountain is definitely a great card, and if it's left to its own devices, you can win the game. The other effects are just as good. You untap one creature to create a creature. You untap, I think, two creatures to draw a card, right?
Mm-hmm.
All while paying a little more mana. That's not bad, you know. Um. Oh, I just thought of something, and I know, like, we're trying to move away from it. If you want a token maker that's kind of an interesting one,
Okay.
there is a white counterpart to my commander Imara who does the same effect but creates. It's called Stony Brook Master.
Stony Brook Schoolmaster.
Yes.
Whenever whenever Stony Brook Schoolmaster becomes tapped, you may put a 1/1 blue Merfolk Wizard creature token into play.
So he exists in my Amara deck. Amara has the same effects, so she's my favorite commander.
Mm-hmm.
Emmara. That's not Edgar and Totally Busted, but they have that effect when they tap. So that means when they attack, you can create a creature. If you tap it by another ability, create a creature. If you use Halo Fountain to tap this creature to make a creature, you make an additional creature. It is weird, aloof things, and I find ways to untap them to tap them again. Um, it's a really fun. I put Paradise Mantle in every deck that I've got, like, either of them in. Paradise Mantle is a 0-drop equipment that creature that's equipped with it has the ability to tap, add one color of any mana to your mana pool. It's it's oh wow, that went up in price. Yeah, but it's free. Like, you don't have to pay mana. You just toss on the field, equip 2, equip 1. I don't remember.
Huh.
Equip 1. And literally it is and so I'll tap for mana and I get a creature. And I'll find ways to untap them just to tap them for more mana and then get a creature. So for instance, Paradise Mantle, I'll tap for white, and then I'll use that white to tap my Halo Fountain, which when I do that with Stony Brook, I'll create that Merfolk. I'll use Halo Fountain and the white to untap my Merfolk to create a token. Then I'll tap my Merfolk for mana again, just to get another token. So I create 3 tokens for free, pretty much. And it's there is another piece of that combo which is kind of funny because I can untap Halo Fountain, and
Mm-hmm.
so I could basically do it 3 or 4 times in a turn and get like 8 creatures in one turn, all for free. And I'm like, there you go. What do you do? So I do love this game for just the aloof things you can do. Right now, I'm working on a U.S. government deck.
What?
Yeah. I'm working on a U.S. government deck, which I'm going to keep under wraps just in case anyone's watching.
So it's a deck where everybody else pays except for the government, right?
No one's above the law, Casey. Everyone pays, including myself.
So switching away from Magic, I'm curious who here is caught up with Dr. Stone?
Not me.
Fuck.
I haven't had time. I haven't had time to watch any anime. Like, I come in and fall asleep in this chair. Like,
Oh yeah.
Bro,
Mhm.
it's been crazy.
It's like I've been I've been religiously staying caught up with I I am I am doing the dub for Hell's Paradise. I am doing the dub for Kamikatsu. Um, I am doing Japanese and dub for Doctor Stone and Demon Slayer. Um, I am doing only Japanese right now for Tengoku Damakyo, so Heavenly Delusion.
Mhm.
They're releasing the dub really slow with that one. So I'm kind of watching the Japanese only at my own pace with that one. Um, and that one's pretty good. Um, what else? What else have I been watching?
Have you been watching Mashal?
Not yet. Have you been watching that?
Okay, so that we started today because Tabby and I finally had a day off. We're like, we're going to start, and we watched it. My God, it's like if Black Clover and Harry Potter had a baby, and it's just a beautiful baby.
Okay.
Actually,
And you mix in some One Punch Man.
actually, I did want to talk to you, Jeremiah, because I did ask Brent this. Um, do you remember a show called Ultimate Muscle?
Yes, I do.
Does Mashal not give you Ultimate Muscle
If you
vibes?
ultimate muscle, just a little bit.
Like, I was
Just
literally
a little
watching
bit.
it. I'm like, this is goddamn Ultimate Muscle with magic. What the fuck?
So my thing is this is Black Clover if they went really heavy into the more comedic One Punch Man aspect to it, using
Mhm.
the art style of Tower of God. And
Mm.
I love it personally. I like we got through episode 2, and I'm gonna tell you right now, we went through I feel like at least 3 episodes worth of backstory on one character, like right out the gate in less than 4 minutes. I was like, oh, okay, so that happened. Oh, that happened, Like I but I love the main character. That one's not being dubbed either right now,
No.
but
I think it's
this is
supposed to be though. Is it? I think it's supposed to be. I think it's on the dub list for the year. I'd have to
I
go and
hope
check.
so. I can't wait. And they're gonna have to get someone who meets his energy
Let me
or lack
see.
thereof.
The
Like
deadpan.
it's beautiful.
Oh, it's
It's
so
beautiful.
gorgeous. I love it.
It is so that was a good pull into it because we were looking for something that like we were like, okay, we don't really know what we want, but we want something a little funnier. And I had heard that Mashal was pretty good, like comedy wise. And so I was like, let's do it. Um it it's great. It is hilarious.
And
I
surprisingly, even with like the amount of episodes that they have out,
It,
it can hit you in the feels pretty hard.
it's
bro.
it's sub only for now. It's
Yeah.
sub only for now. It's listed as just sub. Not to say that it may not get a dub in the future, but right now it's just sub.
I will say, like, I don't expect Solo Leveling to have this art style, but I will say that I think this is doing a really good job, so
Uh-huh.
far.
Mhm.
It
Well,
looks good.
Mashal's A1 as well.
Yeah, I told you that's what I'm kind of like. I want to watch this and bait like, if this seems like a bad animation style, you better step it up because Solo Leveling not only deserves it, it almost commands an aesthetically beautiful
Yeah, it
artwork.
does. Yeah,
Agreed.
I
Yeah.
mean, and the manhwa, right? It already establishes a color palette.
Oh yeah.
Um, and it's I love the shades of blue that
Oh yes.
that it uses for,
I
like
Blue
love
and
like the whole
black. Oh,
shadowy blue.
just
Like the
this
shadows
yeah.
along with the blue just makes it mwah.
it. I love Solo Leveling, and I've told you that before. Like, and everyone should know that. Spoiler alert! Not spoiling the story, just the if you're reading the manhwa, you are going to be like you might not be. If you had no issue with how Bleach Thousand Year Blood War kind of like did its thing at the end, then you won't have too big of an issue with Solo Levelings. Um, but I would definitely say that if you do have an issue with the pacing at the end, go read the light novel.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, like no, like it is definitely hashed out a lot better. Not like too much, I guess, but enough to where it's like, yeah, this should have taken more time than 2 panels. Like come on now. But I get it. I get it. Money. I get it. You know. If you like solo leveling, you can go read his other work what he
He
left this
started
one
he
for.
started a sequel. He started a
Really, I didn't
sequel,
know
yeah,
that.
To solo
about
leveling?
a month
Huh.
ago. Yeah. About a month ago, the sequel to Solo Leveling started, and it centers
So
around the
I know
dude's
he
kid.
jumped in collab to make the advanced player from the tutorial tower, but he was originally pulled away from solo leveling to create another story called Max Level Newbie, which is also really good. It's pretty funny. It's same art style, same like premise in my opinion. Just more of like the start of it. Like, solo leveling
Mhm.
kind of jumps you into, hey, everyone's hunters and they're established. And Max Level Newbie is kind of like we all played this online PC game and suddenly it manifested in real life. And like people who know about it are trying to go to the different places in the game, which was designed as whatever geographical location you were in,
Mhm.
and getting all these things done. So like they go to the tutorial place, which was like the main subway area where the tree of knowledge or whatever would be, so you could learn how to fight and stuff. It's a really good read. It's just hard to find for free and definitely not illegal. So Webtoon used to have them, and now you got to pay the coins, and I just make it a point not to pay them because that's stupid. Um, I wouldn't mind if it was coins for like their fast pass. I don't usually mind that. But I
Mhm.
have a problem when you lock everything behind a coin system that I can't get past without paying you a bunch of money. So no, we ain't do that.
So the other anime that I'm keeping up with, and what's cool is like it's same day dub because apparently it's Crunchyroll funded. That's
Oh.
that's Tony Kawa, Over the Moon for You. Um, has anybody been watching Dead Mount Death Play?
Is that the one where
No.
some aspect of death goes into some kid's body?
Well, it just says here the battle between a hero and necromancer rages on with a fight across space and time. I've heard it's good. Like I've been seeing a lot of stuff for Dead Mount Death Play.
I mean, I would love to jump into that.
I
To be
might check
fair,
that out.
guys, I've been shirking because work's picked up, but I do want to like. I'm literally considering taking off a day this week just to sit down and catch up on watch it because my thing is
There you
like
go.
I just want to chill. Like
And then of course I need to start. I got a cheat skill in another world and became unrivaled in the real world
and the
too. I need to.
next,
That one
bro,
goes
like
dark.
I
That
I
one's
want to
dark.
watch that though so bad.
It's good. It's just dark.
Yeah, I
Like
mean,
the entire time, I think I'm on the third episode of that one, and like the main character is just depressed the entire time, which makes
Oh
sense because
geez.
he has no self-esteem. But like, I'm just sitting here like, what the heck? There is one anime that I am. Is this the one I'm thinking of? No, that
is it
can't
the
be it.
idol one?
Have you guys heard of level 999 farmer or
That
level
sounds familiar.
999 citizen?
That sounds familiar.
Where
I have
it's basically about a character, and he's just his job title is like farmer or citizen or something like that. Like it's something really basic. Except he goes and he levels himself up to level 999. So nothing can actually freaking touch him. And he just decimates everything. So
Isn't
I'm
that
trying to
isn't that
figure that one out.
What is it? Death March to the Parallel World Rhapsody?
World
No,
Rhapsody.
because
Yeah.
in this one he was actually born in it. Like
Oh,
it's
okay.
not
So he
it's
was
not a
born in it.
reincarnation story. It's literally just his life. Like his parents get killed by a monster, and so he goes to basically level himself up to the point where he can't level himself up anymore. And then he finally concludes that the way to save the world is basically by destroying God. And he starts getting skills to kill God, kind of. And
Interesting.
it's remarkable. I love it.
It reminds me of now that this one's not an NPC-esque thing, but there was one where some chick like I not maxed out my defense, but like I'm the highest level because I fought slimes or something like that.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I've heard of
And so
that.
it's kind of like super powerful, didn't mean to be, but here we are. I mean, is it not Maple? But like at the same time,
Did
like
you guys
It's totally Maple.
did you guys see that isekai like TikTok that I sent you guys? It's like, oh, what are you watching? It's like I'm watching like it's like I got transported to World War II and now I'm a car salesman. Did you guys watch that? Did you guys watch that video that I sent you? It's
sorry,
like what are you
man.
watching today? It's like, oh, I'm watching this. It's like, oh, and then it's like it's like it's like, yep, that's isekai. That's totally isekai.
I do love crazy things like that, though.
Yeah,
Admittedly, I mean, some things would go a little too far, but like I loved Otherworld Pharmacist or whatever World Pharmacist.
that was so good. I like
Right?
hopefully that was so good. Like holy
Like
crap,
that
that
had,
was so
th-
good.
and so there's one that's in the same vein, but it's more of it feels more like a kids show slash like more comedy, and that's Drugstore in Another World,
Oh,
where it's
okay.
like it gets into a weird territory that I'll discuss with y'all off stream because I'm sure we'll make it. Well, we can talk about like where it's a conversation of like, is it still
Mushoku
an
Tensei.
isekai that doesn't focus on the other world? You know,
Okay.
I mean, like so, like if you watch Black Summoner, they literally took out the isekai version completely out of it. Person wakes up and goes, "Yeah, you're from another world, but you gave up all of your memories to start in this one with great powers. Have fun." And it's like, okay, cool. We don't even think about Japan. We just know this kid's super strong, and
Mm.
every other episode he might go, "Huh, I wonder what home was like." Anyways, let's go kill some things. It's like, oh, cool. Like, all right, but
I'm still waiting on that. I'm still waiting on that season 2 announcement for World's Finest Assassin.
bro, I miss that freaking show.
Oh my god. I was thinking about starting to rewatch it. It's like it's very like it's oddly uncomfortable to watch, but it's really good. Like
Until you like my thing, like, and you know me, I'm gonna call some. I'm like, Mushko Tensei, but in that one, it's like it is weird, but then it's like if you're an assassin, you're like one of the things is your peak performance of your body,
mhm.
and so you have to make sure everything's good. So it's weird, but I get it,
It's just like
you know.
there's and this was especially really like oddly prominent in the light novel is when he starts puberty. It was like okay. It's like it's like
Yeah,
as a male who's gone through puberty, male puberty is I mean, look, I know that female puberty is gross, but male puberty is pretty gross too. Like, and it's just like he's thinking about it, and I'm like, oh god, I don't like thinking about those years of my life. And whenever something comes up and it reminds me of what that was like like as like a 13, 14, 15-year old, and I was like, ugh. I don't want to think about this. I'm 30
I
now. I'm
never
an
want to go
adult.
through it again. If
Yeah.
I could opt out of that package, I would have.
Anyways, I think I want to wrap it up. It's 11 o'clock here, and I want to try to I want to try to chill a little bit. I've been okay. So, just a quick, just to wrap it up, I want to give my first impressions of Jedi Survivor. I
Ooh,
I I have a love hate relationship with the game. Um, it's like it's a lot of fun when you get to do the stuff that's fun. But there's a lot of stuff, in my opinion, that there isn't fun about it. Um, first of all, the game is absolutely, utterly relentless in its platforming, just completely relentless in its platforming. I don't remember Jedi Fallen Order having so much platforming, but all of my other friends are reminding me that Jedi Fallen Order had a ton of platforming in it.
It did, yeah.
And Jedi Survivor is no different with the amount of platforming that you have to do. And it's not like, and it's like, I feel like a lot of people could argue with me and go like, tell me you're bad at platforming without telling me you're bad at platforming. But like it's just, it's like, basically there comes a point in the game where it's just like, okay, it's like, okay, you have to go to a moon. You have to go to a moon, and it's fairly early in the game. Okay. I won't talk about what the circumstances of going, but like, basically, like, since going to the moon, every point A to point B is just relentless platforming. It's just like nonstop platforming. It feels like it's just like, and then like you get to an area where you can do some combat, yeah, whatever, and even like, even as you get to like more combat heavy areas, there's a little bit of combat sprinkled in here and there, but it's just like, oh God, what kind of ridiculous platforming puzzle do I have to do now? It's just like, it's like anxiety inducing platforming.
Well, the one thing that, at least from what I've seen of Jedi Survivor, is it really reminds me of Dark Souls and everything like that.
Well, yeah, it's a
Even
Soulsborne. It's classified as a Soulsborne.
Well, even Elden Ring. But the whole thing is like, they try to sprinkle in platforming and stuff, and they never quite get the platforming because they're so focused on the combat and everything. So the platforming is really difficult to control. Hence, you usually die when you're trying to platform.
Well, I mean, like, now that like I know what the game is super focused on, which is the platforming, I've adapted. And also, not everything is very clear as to how certain platforming sections have to operate, and I've just like, screw it, I'm watching a video. It's like I'll just sit there and I'll just quickly like watch a video and I'll just go. And a lot of times it's painfully obvious. But like it's pretty relentless in its platforming.
I have been watching a couple streamers playing it, and it's kind of funny because they come up to a puzzle, and like their chat room, the people that are talking to them as they're streaming, even the chat is like, oh, I didn't solve it that way. I solved it da 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 da. And it's like, okay, so there's literally no one way to solve these things.
I don't know how accurate that is. I'm sure that there's different variations of doing the same thing. Because everything like that I've experienced within the game right now, I don't see how you could possibly do things any differently, too much differently. But and whenever you play it, like, you'll have to tell me what you think, and I'll reiterate how I went about doing it. But like, the combat still feels really good. It's a lot of fun. The boss fights, of course, are like what you're there for. But like, I told my buddies in my group chat the other day or today that I said, if this wasn't a Star Wars game with cool characters and a cool story, I would have stopped playing. If this was any other formatted game, if this was any other game that had this much relentless platforming, I'd be like, I would have stopped playing. I would have, yeah. It's not the platforming's like fun, but because there's so much of it, it's exhausting. Yeah, that's just like but thank God there's fast travel now. Anyway,
that was always ridiculous.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna stop the stream real quick. Everyone, nobody came by. Anyways, cool. It was fun.